I'm James Chen. I'm the chairman of the Chen Yat-sen Family Foundation, founder of Clearly, and global ambassador to the IAPB. It's an honor to be able to address all of you here today. I want to start by sharing a bold, ambitious vision with you. A vision that required maverick thinking and extraordinary risk. A vision only achieved by phenomenal collective effort. And a vision that inspired the world.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and to do other things, not because they're easy, but because they are hard. In the 60 years since that speech was made, we have seen dramatic global change. But when I listen to that speech, it strikes me that we have been here before. The threat of world war, civil unrest and human rights challenges, global recession and pandemics. Yes, indeed, we've experienced these before. What exacerbates all these existential threats to our planet today are two things. First, the convergence of so many interlinked and destructive challenges all at once. And second, a lack of bold leadership. And you need bold leadership to unlock moonshot thinking. Audacious, risk-taking, and goal-focused. This was the essence that Kennedy presented, and is something I believe is missing today. And while some of us are going into the moon again, we also need moonshot thinking to solve our earthly challenges. And philanthropy is where we need it most. You see, philanthropy to me is not just giving your money away. I do not advocate a spray and pray approach, donating many millions to many deserving causes. It is a pious act, for sure, but does it make a difference? If a scattergun approach to philanthropy worked, we would not face many of the global challenges we still see today. Moonshot philanthropists are distinct from charitable donors and practitioners of patronage. We choose to use our private wealth as a superpower, to privatize our failures and to socialize our successes. That superpower can create lasting change and transform lives. Businesses and governments are agents of capital, accountable to shareholders and voters. Moonshot philanthropists are owners of capital and can take the risks and absorb failures others can't or won't. Of course, you cannot just put a number on ending world hunger, on reversing climate change, on securing global peace, and on achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Addressing these challenges requires more than just money. It requires two more key things. First, time. In my experience, it takes time to truly understand the complexities to uncover solutions. If, for example, I'm investing $10 million, I know I also must invest 10 years or more on an issue. Second, risk-taking. Like venture capital investment in the for-profit space, moonshot philanthropists fund risky early-stage entrepreneurial ideas. Radical thinking that disrupts the status quo. I believe that in order to succeed, you have to fail fast and learn from those failures to build up domain expertise. And I see domain expertise as the deep knowledge that empowers you to look at things differently, assess risk, and create change. Dedicated private capital enables the moonshot philanthropists not only to take high-risk bets, but also to withstand the trials and tribulations it takes to gain this domain expertise. I apply this approach in the field of vision correction. My moonshot journey I started almost 20 years ago. But when I reflect on how far we have come, I often think back to an early experience in my own journey. It all started at a gathering of country managers in the lobby of the World Bank, where we were invited to make our case for deploying a revolutionary adjustable lens technology in glasses for the developing world. We had been knocking at the door for over 2 years, convinced that conveying the prevalence of unaddressed poor vision and its consequences would align them to our cause. After all, you only had to look at their top executives to see how important vision correction is to them. As you can see, every single one of them wore glasses. But we were wrong. After our presentation, they still thought of vision and the complex global distribution of glasses as ill-fitting puzzle pieces amongst a large number of competing health priorities. While extremely disheartening, our brush with failure at the World Bank did not deter me. In fact, it only made me more determined. Convinced of the life-changing impact of vision correction, despite the rejection, I needed to learn firsthand why the experts were so dismissive. So, I founded an NGO called Vision for a Nation, and we worked with Rwanda to test a radical holistic approach, one that tackled the entire infrastructure around eyesight, poor eyesight, rather than just the issue itself. Our small team had a big goal: to make basic, good enough, not perfect eye care available to every citizen in the country. And remarkably, we did it. Rwanda became the first developing country on earth to offer universal primary affordable eye care. Thank you. But to turn this national solution into a global one, we needed to go further still. And this example shows why moonshot philanthropy is built on the idea of thinking big and employing risk to create far-reaching impact. And to do so, I had to deploy my moonshot capital again to demonstrate that this issue is far more pervasive than one might think. Together with some of you in this room today, we created Project Oversight and Clearly. This advertisement appeared in the New York Times 6 days before the UN General Assembly passed the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. It signaled our intent to launch a global campaign to educate the public and world leaders by raising the profile of this issue. And it led to our greatest achievement yet, which our UN Friends of Vision co-chairs and so many of you were a part of. On 23rd of July 2021, the UN General Assembly unanimously passed the Vision for Everyone resolution. What made our argument so compelling to the UN was the work we and others like the Lancet Global Commission had undertaken to prove that vision correction is a golden thread to achieving many of the Sustainable Development Goals, from ending poverty and hunger to ensuring good health, well-being, and equitable education, to achieving gender equality, sustainable economic growth, and safer cities. Universal access to vision correction can drive us towards all of them. It is something we inherently know and thankfully the UN understands. But it is still something we need to prove. With Clearly, we showed that working together across the sector, both advocating and campaigning for better vision for everyone on our planet, was important to change the hearts and minds of decision makers and the public. That's why when we merged Clearly with IPB just over a year ago, our ambition was to ensure that this campaigning and advocacy work did not just continue, but grew. Today, we are here days before World Sight Day and celebrating the Love Your Eyes campaign, a campaign that aims to make eye health accessible, available, and affordable for everyone by 2030. This is an exciting opportunity to highlight the importance of eye health for everyone, while changing the lives of over 1 billion people over the next decade. Love Your Eyes is an ambitious campaign, and if we truly want the world to be a better place, we must act now. It is also an example of moonshot thinking, delivering real and lasting change. This global approach is another reason why, in collaboration with the Wellcome Trust, USAID, the Mo Foundation, and the Medical Research Council, my Moonshot Capital is now deployed to co-fund a set of clinical research trials, codenamed DRIVE, specifically to explore vision care as a driver of transformative development. These 9 trials are taking place in 5 countries: China, Vietnam, India, Bangladesh, and Zimbabwe. From traffic safety to work and education to mental health and financial well-being. As some of you know, the first of these trials, Prosper 1, took place in India in 2017, with participants' productivity increasing by 21.7%. That's equal to an extra day's work and an extra day's income. It sounds so simple that a pair of glasses, an invention more than 700 years old, could achieve such results. There is an urgent need to replicate the research around the world to see how else improved vision positively impacts our sustainable development goals. And I believe the DRIVE trials will accelerate this thinking. But while vision correction will take us forward and bring progress, it will not achieve the SDGs on its own. I don't need to tell you that we need annual investment of around $5 to $7 trillion to achieve the SDGs. We are nowhere near that. I believe moonshot thinking and disruptive solutions can help to bridge the chasm. I want to see more disruptive moonshot thinking applied to every area of the global development agenda. Now is the time to say, not only to philanthropists, use moonshot thinking to achieve our missions. Addressing these challenges promises high costs and hardships, but the rewards for success will be far greater than those risks taken. And those who do not join us in shooting for the moon may well be left behind. So let's draw on that spirit of 1962 by adopting our own maverick thinking, whatever the risks may be. Let's use our collective efforts, wealth, and expertise to achieve these ambitious goals. And let's inspire the world with what we can achieve together. Thank you very much.